up guys, welcome to today's video. If you are new to the Gregorio Girls channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are not new, welcome back. And thank you so much for supporting my and my sister's channel. So Sean and I have been talking about kind of like a lot of like little like series that we want to do on our channel. And one thing that I wanted to start was the I don't need any more eyeshadow palettes series, because I feel like there's so much coming out right now, and like every time a new palette comes out, it's like, oh my god, I have to have this. I have to have the KKW Mario. I have to have like the Larlie Nudie Patootie. I have to have the Jaclyn Hill palette. Like all these things come out and there's hype around them for a few weeks, and then it's the next palette and the next palette and the next palette. So if there's one thing that Shauna and I always say to each other, we're always like, oh my god, we don't need any more eyeshadow palettes. And it's so true. So for today, I grabbed the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, which is definitely a classic. And then I also grabbed the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, which is one of their cute, like smaller palettes. I figure they're older palettes. They're probably palettes that a lot of you watching might have. So, sorry, I haven't filmed in a while and I have a tendency to ramble anyway, but today it's extra bad. So anyway, this is the look that I came up with for today's video. So if you would like to see how I got this look, then please just keep on watching. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. So first up, we're going to prep and prime. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. And then to set that concealer, I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics All Over Shadow Brush as usual, and I'm going to dip into white chocolate right here just to set all over the lid. Next, I'm going to take my Morphe M504, it looks like this, just a nice fluffy blending brush. And I'm gonna dip into the color Salted Caramel right here. It's just a really good transition shade if you have a lighter skin tone. And I'm just gonna work that into the crease. I absolutely love this brush because like look at how quickly I got that color on there. Like it just gives you a really good blended wash of color, and it doesn't go on too like harshly. Like it's almost like it goes on blended. I don't have to work that much with this brush, which is really, really nice for that first transition shade where it's not too dark and you want to smoke it out, like you want to blow it out a little bit onto the lid. So starting here in the crease and then blending up out onto the brow bone. Just kind of flicking it out at the ends and making sure there's no harsh edges, and voila. So next I'm really quickly going to jump over to the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. Look at how cute this is. This is such a throwback, you guys. So I'm going to take this matte shade right here. It's called Peanut Butter, and it's got the warmth to it that I want, that there just isn't a color like this in the chocolate bar. So this is going to be the second color that we work into the crease, and I'm just taking it on my Morphe 518 brush. This is just slightly denser than the 504, so it's going to help us keep it a little bit tighter, but it's still fluffy enough to give us that good blend. So we're just going to work that in and kind of concentrate it right here, right underneath where we just smoked out that first shade. And I even want it to come to like seep down onto the top of the lid a little bit, because that gives a good base for like any shimmer color or anything that we're going to put all over the lid later, because it kind of peeks through and it just deepens it up a little bit. Okay, so can you guys see what I mean? Like we have that first shade that's just kind of smoked up and out, but then that second color, Peanut Butter, just adds a little bit more warmth. So now moving on to the lid, I'm going to dip into this color right here called Marzipan. So I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush. This is not Morphe. This doesn't have a name. This is just like a random cheapo eyeshadow brush that I have laying around in my collection that I should probably replace. So anyway, any flat synthetic brush will do. Dip into that shimmer. So I like to dip into the shadow first and then wet the brush, as opposed to wetting the brush first and then dipping into the shadow, because I feel like the shadow gets funky. But if you wet the brush after the shadow is already on it with some Fix Plus, as I'm about to do now. I find that it gives you a really good foil without making like a total mess and getting that like layer of shadow across like the top. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. You get that like funky layer of eyeshadow in the pan on top of it when you wet the brush first. So this will help you avoid that. So I am just running that shade all across the lid. So next I actually am going to jump back over to the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette again, and I'm going to take the color right next to Peanut Butter. It's called Peanut Butter Cup, super cute. I just scratched it off because this little guy had, see this layer? That's the layer that I was talking about, and this little guy just had one of those. So that happens when you wet your brush and then dip into a powder with like shimmer in it. So I'm going to take my Morphe M433, that's what this is, right? Yes, Morphe M433. So, still a blending brush, but a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, and it's got the tapered bristles here. This brush is really good for packing shadows like right in the outer corner here and simultaneously kind of blending them in with the crease. So that's what we're gonna do. So once again, we're gonna take Peanut Butter Cup, and then I'm just gonna pounce that in here in the outer corner. And this is gonna help us glam it up a little bit, deepen it up a little bit, but still keep it nice and soft for summer. So using the side of that brush to pack it onto the lid here, and then using those tapered bristles at the top to simultaneously kind of blend that up and out. See? And then that helps it become not so harsh of a line. And if you want to extend it just a little bit, I would say like 2/3 of the way in. Add a little bit more definition if you want to. And like I said, just blend, maybe flip the brush over to the clean side and blend it up into our transition shades. And just make sure there's no harsh lines. Okay, and then once you've blended that Peanut Butter Cup color or whatever dark color you're using in the outer corner, once you've blended that out to your liking, if you're like me, that takes a while because I'm a little OCD, I am going to jump back over to the Chocolate Bar palette. I know, I'm sorry, I'm palette hopping all over the place. But I'm going to take my Morphe E18 brush, and I'm going to dip back into that Salted Caramel color, which is the first color we used in our transition. And I'm going to bring that down across the lower lash line, just to still give it a little bit of smokiness. Okay, and then last thing for the eyes, I want to take this Champagne Truffle shade down here. It's got a little bit of like a pinky reflect to it, but I think it'll be pretty to highlight the inner corner and to highlight the brow bone. I'm going to take my Morphe E36, jump into that Champagne Truffle, and I'm going to go right in my inner corner here. Just brighten that up a bit. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that. I guess why not, I'll just use that same brush for up here. And then I always like to take, again, OCD, I always like to take whatever brush I was using to blend out my transition and kind of blend that in with the highlight so that it's not so harsh, like boom, transition, boom, highlight. Does it really do anything? Not sure, but to me it makes me feel better. Okay, so that's gonna be it for eyeshadow. I'm gonna pop some lashes on off of camera, and then we will move on to highlighter and blush and lips, and we will be done. I'll be right back. All right, so here we are with lashes. As you can see, it makes a huge difference to the look. So, to prep my complexion, because I've already done my foundation and powders and stuff like that, I'm just gonna take a little bit of Fix Plus to freshen everything up. I don't know why I took my hair down. I should just pull the hair right back up. So while it's still a little bit wet though, we want to go in with the highlighter. So I just picked this up at the drugstore over the weekend. This is the Wet n Wild highlighter. We had Precious Petals. This is Golden Flower Crown. So when I brought it home, really quickly, I realized that it's actually a pretty good dupe for the Amrezy and ABH highlighter. So here they are side by side. This one's a little bit lighter. This one's like a little bit less white and a little bit more gold, but you can see that they're pretty similar in colors. So good dupe for that if you didn't want to splurge on the Amrezy highlighter, which I totally get. This was a birthday present for me from Shauna. So anyway, now that my Fix Plus has completely dried, I am just going to take my Morphe M510 and highlight with that. And then moving on to blush, so this has been my absolute favorite blush. Like, I have not used another blush since I bought this 2 months ago. So this is the MAC Extra Dimension blush. This is in the shade Fairly Precious. And the reason that I love this is because it's shimmery, and at first I was like, ooh, like it almost looks like a highlighter. And I was like, oh, am I gonna hate that in a blush? Is it gonna be too much? I freaking love it, especially for the summer, because it just blends so seamlessly into your highlighter, and it just like it makes the blush and the highlight become one because of the shimmer in this product. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just gonna take that on a little blush brush. Do you guys see what I mean? Do you see how? So now I've got a little bit of color on my cheek as opposed to this cheek, but as I turn, you just get that full glisten, like that full just like glowy, like dripping in highlight and shimmer, just like, ah, I love it. I love it for summer. I mean, I like to shine all year round, but I especially love it for this time of year. So last but not least, we're gonna finish up with lips. So I really wanna do like a fun, bright pop of color with this look, since I feel like I've been wearing nudes like all fall and all winter. So first I'm gonna line my lips. So I'm gonna take my NYX Suede matte lip liner. This is in the shade Life's a Beach. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Lippy Sticks. This is the satin formula, and this is in the shade Fetch. So that is going to be it for this look and for this video. I hope it's fairly like simple and easy to recreate. This isn't like necessarily eye makeup that you've never seen before. I'm sure this look is all over the internet, but it's just a really good go-to look for summertime. And I feel like you can take this eye look and you can swap it out for a glossy lip, for a nude lip, for a red lip, and it's appropriate for summer. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the Gregorio Girls channel today. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel before you leave. Give us a follow on Instagram at devdevgregs and at shaunagregs as well. I will link all the products that I use down below in the description box. And we will catch you guys in the next Gregorio Girls video.